California retirement is supposed to be a financial death sentence. The internet says you need 3 pensions, a tech stock portfolio, and at least one rich relative who feels guilty about something they did in 1997. Otherwise, enjoy moving to Arizona, where the air feels like a hairdryer aimed directly into your soul. But here's the weird part. Scattered along 840 miles of Pacific coastline are towns the real estate algorithms forgot, places where the tourists never fully arrived, influencers gave up after 2 foggy afternoons, and property values just stalled. Not crashed, not booming, just hovering awkwardly like a seagull judging your life choices. And in those towns, actual human retirees are quietly living on Social Security alone. Ocean outside the window, coffee on the porch, financial panic downgraded to mild concern. Today, we're counting down 20 hidden California beach towns where that's still possible. Hit subscribe, and trust me, you are absolutely not ready for number 1. Number 20, Seaside, right next door to Monterey, the place where retirees accidentally spend their grandchildren's inheritance on artisan olive oil. Sits Seaside. The town Monterey pretends is just a parking lot. That's exactly why it works. Median home prices hover around $620,000, which in California coastal math translates to astonishingly reasonable. Rents average about $1,700 to $2,100, and crime sits slightly above the national average. Mostly car break-ins and the occasional argument about parking spaces that escalates into a full neighborhood summit. Here's the secret. Seaside used to be a military town, and military towns don't care about vibes. They care about practicality. Streets are normal. Houses are normal. Restaurants serve food instead of concepts. And locals online basically say, we live 5 minutes from Monterey, but pay 40% less, and nobody tries to sell us lavender-infused oxygen. The weather, foggy mornings, sunny afternoons, and wind that believes in personal growth. You will own a jacket, multiple jackets. The jackets will outnumber your friends. Retirement here isn't glamorous. It's functional. You walk along the same ocean views tourists pay hotel rates for, then go home to a mortgage payment that doesn't cause chest pain. Number 19, Samoa. Samoa isn't a town so much as a thin strip of sand that decided to become a zip code. It sits across the bay from Eureka, technically minutes away, emotionally several decades. The road in feels like you're driving toward a lighthouse to apologize for something, and that isolation is exactly why retirees who hate crowds quietly end up here. Median home prices float around $420,000, rents average $1,200 to $1,600, and crime rates fall below the national average, mostly because criminals prefer places with multiple exits. Samoa has 1. The economy here runs on fishing boats, a marina, and the occasional confused tourist who thought they were heading somewhere else. Grocery runs require planning, Amazon deliveries require patience, and pizza delivery requires personal growth. And locals online describe it perfectly. You don't live in Samoa unless you meant to, or you stayed too long and it adopted you. Weather, fog that arrives horizontally, wind that never clocks out, sunshine appears occasionally like a guest star, but retirees love it because expenses stay predictable, neighbors know each other, and the Pacific Ocean handles entertainment duties 24/7. You won't find nightlife, the ocean is the nightlife. Number 18, Dillon Beach. Yes, that Marin County, the land of $18 sandwiches and Labradors with better healthcare than most Americans. And yet somehow, Dillon Beach exists. Perched on the far northern edge of Marin, this place feels like the county forgot to update it after 1978. No boutiques, no valet parking, just a windswept village clinging to the coast like it's hiding from the rest of the Bay Area. Median home prices average about $650,000, which in Marin County is basically clearance rack pricing. Rentals run $1,800 to $2,200, and crime sits well below the national average, unless you count seagulls committing emotional harassment. The trade-off? Wind. Constant wind. The kind of wind that reorganizes your personality and teaches you humility about hats. Locals online say, you don't move to Dillon Beach for weather. You move here to not talk to anyone again. Groceries require a drive. Nightlife is the sound of waves aggressively discussing geology. The nearest excitement is a fog bank changing shape. But retirees who cash out elsewhere quietly land here because it's coastal Northern California without Bay Area financial trauma. You wake up, drink coffee, stare at the Pacific, and the loudest thing in your day is a pelican landing wrong. Number 17, Bolinas. Bolinas is famous for one thing, actively trying not to be famous. Bolinas. Locals allegedly remove road signs so tourists can't find it, which sounds like a joke until you miss the turn 3 times and start questioning reality. This town treats publicity the way cats treat baths, aggressively opposed. Median home prices sit around $700,000, which is bizarrely low for coastal marine, while small rentals and long-term arrangements hover near $1,600 to $2,100 if you're patient and mildly likable. Crime rates fall well below national averages, mostly because everyone knows who you are within 48 hours of arrival. The vibe: half retired surfers, half artists, and one guy who may or may not have been here since 1972 and refuses to acknowledge smartphones. Online locals often say, if you found Bolinas, someone told you about it. We didn't. Fog rolls in like it pays rent. Sunshine appears occasionally just to keep morale stable. The ocean is beautiful but cold enough to forgive past mistakes. Retirement here works because life slows down to human speed. You don't spend money because there's nowhere to spend it. Entertainment is conversations, walks, and watching tides behave mysteriously. It's not convenient, it's peaceful. Number 16, Avila Beach. Avila Beach is what happens when California accidentally creates perfect weather and then forgets to charge Beverly Hills prices for it. Tucked into a south-facing bay near Pismo Beach, it avoids the relentless wind and fog that bully most of the Central Coast. While neighboring towns shiver in hoodies year-round, Avila residents suspiciously enjoy sunshine like they bribe the climate. Median home prices hover around $680,000, and small condos or older rentals can land between $1,700 to $2,200. Expensive by normal standards, but shockingly survivable for coastal California retirees. Crime rates sit below the national average. The biggest public disturbance is usually someone arguing about parking near the Pier Farmers Market. Locals online sum it up best: it's Santa Barbara weather without Santa Barbara therapy bills. The town runs on coffee shops, casual restaurants, and retirees who walk everywhere at a pace suggesting they've permanently unsubscribed from urgency. Even the hills look relaxed. Downside? Tourists on weekends. Upside? By sunset they leave and the place exhales again. Here retirement becomes routine. Morning ocean walk, afternoon reading, evening golden light reflecting off calm water that never seems angry. You're not escaping civilization, you're editing it. Number 15, Carpinteria. Carpinteria is Santa Barbara's younger sibling who never went to private school and somehow ended up happier. You're 10 minutes from one of the most expensive zip codes in America, but the vibe shifts from champagne brunch to fish tacos immediately. The palm trees are identical, the sunsets are identical, the price tags are not. Median home prices sit around $690,000 to $720,000 depending on how close you get to the sand, and older apartments rent for roughly $1,800 to $2,300. Crime rates fall below national averages unless we're counting aggressive squirrels with territorial disputes. Locals online constantly say, same beach, fewer influencers. The town feels lived in. People work here. Kids ride bikes. Nobody is filming a lifestyle vlog about their oat milk journey. Weather, nearly illegal. Warm, calm, and consistent. The kind of climate that makes you suspicious something is being hidden in the fine print. Retirees land here after realizing Santa Barbara requires a trust fund and Ventura still thinks it's in a surf competition with itself. Carpinteria just quietly functions. Daily life becomes simple. Farmers market mornings, beach walks, and evenings where the sky performs like it knows you waited decades for this. It's coastal California without the performance art. Number 14, Cambria. Cambria is the town that looks like it was hand-painted by a retiree with a lifelong obsession for storybook cottages and fog, and somehow it still hasn't been completely monetized. Perched along the Central Coast, it balances between touristy and sleepy. B&Bs and art galleries exist, but big box stores and chain restaurants are conspicuously absent. The ocean is a dramatic backdrop, the hills are dotted with oak trees, and the fog occasionally rolls in just to remind you who's boss. Median home prices average around $710,000, rentals range from $1,600 to $2,200, and crime rates stay below the national average, mostly limited to the occasional lost tourist trying to locate the main street that locals refuse to label. Online chatter reads, Cambria, where your wallet's not bleeding, but your soul might if you miss the sunset. The weather teases you. Foggy mornings give way to warm afternoons, and occasionally some persistent wind that feels like it has a personal personal grudge. It's perfect for retirees who want a predictable, gentle climate, but with a side of coastal drama. Living here is like owning a painting you can walk through every day. You can retire comfortably, enjoy art galleries, walk the cliffs, and still afford to eat without mortgaging your future. Number 13, Cayucos. Cayucos is what happens when a surf town decides it doesn't care about being famous. It's half 1970s surf movie, half sleepy retirement haven, and somehow it still works financially. Median home prices float around $680,000 to $700,000, and small rentals can be snagged for $1,600 to $2,200. Crime rates sit below the national average, with the occasional theft of a surfboard or a sense of direction. The vibe, low-key. The tourists come, see a wooden pier, and leave confused. Locals online joke, Cayucos, where the surf is eternal and the drama is optional. Weather is merciful, mild winters, sunny summers, fog rolling in like it owes you nothing. Retirees land here for the unpretentious access to ocean views and a sense that life slowed down for a reason. Everything is within walking distance. Coffee shops, grocery stores, oh, and the pier. Cayucos quietly lets retirees live like they're on a permanent vacation without the bill to match. And if you think Cayucos is chill, wait until you see. Number 12. Shelter Cove. Shelter Cove is where civilization politely waves goodbye and lets nature take the wheel. You don't stumble upon this town. You drive 30 miles down a winding cliff road, questioning every life choice that brought you here. And that's exactly why retirees love it. Median home prices average around $450,000. Rentals sit between $1,200 to $1,700, and crime rates are below national averages. Mostly because there's literally nowhere for most crime to happen. Your neighbor is probably a pelican, or a retired fisherman who knows more about tides than taxes. Locals online say, if you can reach Shelter Cove without crying, you're practically family. Weather is dramatic, fog, wind, sun, and occasional ocean storms that feel like they're auditioning for a movie role. The town is tiny, honored with one main store and a post office that also doubles as a social hub. Retirement here is raw, real, and cheapish by California standards. You get the coast without the crowds, the views without the traffic, and a rhythm dictated by tides rather than Wall Street. And if you think Shelter Cove is remote, wait until you see. Number 11, Lompoc. Lompoc is the town everyone skips on their way to Santa Barbara. And that's exactly why retirees love it. It's cheap, quiet, and surprisingly scenic. Vineyards meet military airfields in a way that makes no sense on paper, but works in reality. Median home prices hover around $550,000. Rentals range from $1,400 to $1,800. And crime rates sit slightly below the national average. The downside? It's not glamorous. The upside? You can afford a home without selling a kidney or pretending to invest in NFTs. Locals online jokingly say, Lompoc, where the wine tastes good, the military jets fly low, and nobody asks for your Instagram handle. The weather is mild, though occasionally windy, and the town's murals give it character without demanding you buy into an artisan lifestyle. Grocery shopping is practical, coffee is functional, and neighbors wave like they actually mean it. Retirement here isn't flashy, it's dependable. You can walk among flowers, sip local wine, and watch planes take off. All without the financial anxiety that haunts much of coastal California. And if you think Lompoc is affordable, wait until you see. Number 10, Port Hueneme. Port Hueneme is one of Southern California's best kept secrets, mostly because nobody wants to believe there's a genuinely affordable beach town left in the land of $10 tacos and Tesla charging stations. Median home prices here sit around $620,000. Rentals range from $1,600 to $2,100, and crime rates are about average for California, mostly limited to petty theft or the occasional rogue seagull. The town hugs a naval base, which explains the quiet streets, orderly neighborhoods, and a surprisingly strong sense of don't mess with us. Locals online put it bluntly. Port Hueneme, surf, sand, and sanity. All without selling your soul to the Santa Monica real estate market. Weather is cooperative, consistent sun tempered by cool ocean breezes. The pier provides casual entertainment, and the ocean smells faintly of salt and potential mischief. Shops are functional, restaurants are unpretentious, and life moves at a speed that's vaguely civilized. Retirees here enjoy the rare combination of California coastal living and the kind of affordability that almost feels like cheating. And if you think Port Hueneme is chill, wait until you see. Number 9. Moss Landing. Moss Landing is the industrial chic cousin of Monterey that somehow escaped gentrification. Think fishing boats, a power plant, and sea otters conspiring together to keep rent reasonable. And yes, it works. Median home prices average $650,000, rentals hover around $1,700 to $2,200, and crime rates are slightly below national averages, mostly limited to the occasional bored tourist trying to touch a sea otter. Locals online describe it as Moss Landing, where the smells are honest, the seafood is excellent, and the views will judge your life choices. The vibe is part working harbor, part sleepy retirement town. The weather is perpetually fog-kissed with a breeze that constantly reminds you the ocean runs this place. Shops are small, cafes are functional, and there's a quiet pride in keeping Moss Landing off the radar of Instagram influencers. Retirement here is about balance. Ocean walks, fresh seafood, and affordable coastal living without the Santa Cruz-style chaos. It's gritty, it's real, and for a retiree on Social Security, it's almost scandalously doable. And if you think Moss Landing is unique, wait until you see... Number 8. Oceano. Oceano is the town that whispers, "I'm a beach town, but I don't care if you notice." It's sand dunes, palm trees, and retirees who realize they didn't need a Starbucks on every corner to be happy. Median home prices hover around $560,000, with rentals between $1,400 to $1,900, and crime rates sit slightly below national averages, like mostly low-level mischief like seagulls stealing unattended sandwiches. Locals online say, Oceano, where your biggest worry is sand in your shoes, not your mortgage. The vibe is low-key and surprisingly forgiving. Weather is mild, with sunny mornings, occasional coastal fog, and breezes that make hoodies mandatory. Life moves at a comfortable pace. Morning beach walks, afternoon naps, and evenings punctuated by gull calls rather than car alarms. Retirees find Oceano appealing because it's affordable without feeling abandoned, scenic without being a tourist trap, and quiet without being boring. The dunes invite exploration, the ocean demands attention, and the town quietly survives outside the coastal price spiral. And if you think Oceano is relaxed, wait until you see... Number 7. Morro Bay. Morro Bay is the town that sneaks onto postcards while still letting retirees afford a home without selling a kidney. That giant volcanic rock looming offshore. Basically your neighborhood landmark, and a reminder that nature owns the place, not real estate brokers. Median home prices sit around $700,000. Rentals run $1,800 to $2,300, and crime rates are below the national average. Mostly non-violent incidents like someone stealing a parking spot or a seagull claiming a tourist lunch. Locals online often quip, Morro Bay, where the sunsets don't charge admission and neither does the air. The town is a mix of fishermen's wharves, boutique shops, and retirees who show up every morning for coffee and a look at the harbor. Weather is mild, fog rolls in like a patient librarian, and the ocean hums a quiet soundtrack to everyday life. Retirement here means waking up to the smell of salt, strolling past fishing boats, and knowing you're living on the coast without collapsing your finances. It's scenic, functional, and still secretly affordable. A rare coastal trifecta. And if you think Morro Bay is charming, wait until you see... Number 6. Marina. Marina is what happens when the military finally leaves a town and forgets to sell the real estate to billionaires. It's a quiet slice of the Monterey coast that hasn't been Instagramified, which is exactly why retirees on Social Security can still manage here. Median home prices hover around $640,000. Rentals range from $1,600 to $2,100, and crime rates are about average for California, mostly minor property incidents and the occasional confused tourist. Locals online sum it up succinctly. Marina, near Monterey, but not pretending to be Monterey. The town feels like a mix of post-military order and sleepy coastal life. The ocean is constantly visible, the wind insists on showing up, and neighborhoods are surprisingly quiet. Restaurants are modest, coffee shops are functional, and grocery stores know you by first name if you shop enough. Retirement here is calm, morning beach walks, afternoons with a book, and evenings watching the fog roll in over the dunes. It's coastal California without the stress. Still scenic, still affordable, still secretly a loophole. And if you think Marina is serene, wait until you see. Number 5, Imperial Beach. Imperial Beach is the scrappy, last surviving surf town of Southern California. While the rest of San Diego County gentrified into Instagrammable perfection, Imperial Beach stubbornly refused, and retirees quietly cheered from the sidelines. Median home prices hover around $650,000, rentals run $1,700 to $2,200, and crime rates are slightly above the national average. Mostly petty thefts, beach parking disputes, and seagulls with serious attitude problems. Locals online joke, Imperial Beach, surf, sand, and sanity. Pick 2. Weather is forgivingly mild, with ocean breezes keeping summer heat in check. The pier provides casual entertainment, sunsets are dramatic but free, and the streets hum with a quiet, lived-in energy. Restaurants are casual, coffee is strong. Oh, and you're never more than a 5-minute drive from the Pacific. Retirement here is all about balance. Ocean views without the Wall Street-sized mortgage, a sense of community without pretension, and the occasional weirdness that reminds you you're living somewhere real. And if you think Imperial Beach is the edge of affordable Southern California, wait until you see number 4, Eureka. Eureka is a Victorian charm meets foggy Pacific Northwest, smack onto California's northern coast. The architecture alone makes retirees feel cultured, even if the town smells faintly of rain and old timber most of the year. Median home prices sit around $430,000. Rentals range $1,200 to $1,700, and crime rates are slightly above national averages, mostly property related, but compared to Bay Area chaos, Eureka might as well be a monastery. Locals online say, Eureka, where the houses are beautiful, the redwoods are taller than your problems, and the fog humbles everyone equally. The weather leans cool and damp, but the summers are mild enough to encourage outdoor walks, farmers markets, and casual strolls along the waterfront. Coffee shops are cozy, bookstores are abundant, and everyone knows that the ocean both provides and judges. Retirement here is atmospheric. You get culture without the price, ocean views without the Bay Area crowds, and a pace of life that encourages reflection rather than panic over stock market tickers. And if you think Eureka is cinematic, wait until you see number 3. Fort Bragg. Fort Bragg is the Pacific Coast's unapologetic underdog. It's rugged, scenic, and somehow manages to stay affordable while sitting on cliffs that look like movie sets. Retirees who crave ocean views without Bay Area prices quietly move here and thank their lucky stars. Median home prices hover around $500,000 to $550,000. Rentals range from $1,400 to $1,900, and crime rates sit slightly above national averages, mostly opportunistic and never violent. The quirks here are natural, fog, wind, and wildlife that treats humans as mildly amusing intruders. Locals online say, Fort Bragg, waves, trees, and enough old money ghosts to keep you humble. The town is small but functional. Shops, cafes, and galleries cater to both tourists and locals, though the latter often outnumber the former outside peak season. Weather is mild but dramatic. Sunny one day, fogged in the next, and always tempered by a breeze that reminds you the ocean owns this place. Retirement here is about perspective. Watch the tide, sip coffee, and realize you can live on Social Security while the rest of the coast gnashes its teeth over affordability. And if you think Fort Bragg is remote, wait until you see. Number 2, Crescent City. Crescent City is where Northern California truly gives up on being convenient, and that's why retirees love it. Surrounded by towering redwoods and the relentless Pacific, it's remote, dramatic, and financially forgiving. Median home prices sit around $400,000 to $450,000. Rentals range $1,100 to $1,600, and crime rates are slightly above national averages, mostly minor property offenses. The real challenge? Occasional storms that make you rethink whether your umbrella has a soul. Locals online put it bluntly. Crescent City. The coast gets wild, the ocean talks back, and your wallet says thank you. Weather is Pacific dramatic, fog, rain, and sun that arrives sporadically just to keep you humble. The town is small, functional, and stubbornly beautiful. Grocery stores are efficient, coffee is strong, and neighbors are polite, sometimes unnervingly so. Retirement here is about solitude without loneliness. Ocean walks, redwood hikes, and a real sense of space make you forget that the rest of California is bleeding your budget dry. Social Security stretches further than most expect, and life slows to a cinematic rhythm. And if you think Crescent City is extreme, wait until you see number 1. Trinidad. Trinidad is the crown jewel of hidden California coastal towns. Tiny, cinematic, and shockingly affordable. This is the place that makes retirees feel like they've discovered a secret that even Google Maps can't monetize. Median home prices hover around $520,000, rentals run $1,500 to $2,000, and crime rates are below national averages, mostly harmless property issues or the occasional seagull theft. The town's small size means neighbors know each other, but nature keeps everyone humble. Ocean waves, rugged cliffs, and fog that refuses to negotiate. Locals online say, Trinidad, the ocean is louder than your worries and cheaper than most zip codes in California. The vibe is intimate yet wild. Coffee shops are cozy, restaurants serve honest portions, and the sunsets are cinematic enough to make you forget the rest of the world. Weather is mild, but always reminds you who's boss. Jackets are mandatory, wind is non-negotiable, and the Pacific is ever present. Retirement here is like holding a secret. Quiet mornings, ocean walks, a manageable mortgage, and a life where Social Security actually suffices. Few places balance beauty, affordability, and calm quite like Trinidad. And there you have it, 20 hidden California beach towns where Social Security stretches further than your imagination, and where you can actually retire without selling a kidney or pretending to understand NFTs. From the foggy isolation of Shelter Cove to the cinematic cliffs of Trinidad, each town proves that California's coastline isn't entirely bankrupting retirees. You just have to know where to look. Some are remote, some are scrappy, some are quaintly industrial, but all share one thing, affordability that still lets you see the ocean without living in a cardboard box. If you've been clutching your wallet through this countdown, take a deep breath. You've learned that you can have coastal sunsets, salty breezes, and functional groceries all without hemorrhaging cash. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because next time, we're going inland, mountain towns where isolation is mandatory and the Wi-Fi is optional. Spoiler, you might actually want to disappear there. The California coast may be expensive, but a clever retiree knows the loopholes.